Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. I am your host for Friday, Liisa Murray. I am so excited about our show today. Today is Friday, November 30th. And joining us, we're going to interview him a little bit later, but let's just welcome him right on in, our very own David Hoagland. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
So I'm going to have you sit in with us for this first part. I'm going to talk, you've watched the show.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about the weather and what's been going on, and feel free to pipe in a little bit, okay?
Yep.
All right, great. So today, as I said, is Friday, November 20th. The weather today is a little bit warmer than it has been these past few days, with a high of 60 and partly cloudy skies all day. Sounds not too bad, right?
Nope, not bad at all.
On this day in history, in 1789, New Jersey is the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights. In 1805, Ludwig van Beethoven's Fidelio, his only opera, premieres in Vienna. Are you an opera fan, David?
No, not really.
Yeah, I've never really gotten super into opera. I've seen a few, I'm familiar, but it hasn't become my, favorite thing,
Right. Me either.
In 1866, Howard University is founded in Washington, D.C. In 1962, Mickey Mantle wins the American League MVP for the third time. Are you a Mickey Mantle fan?
I'm a Mets fan.
Mets fan, okay. And he was on the Yankees?
Yes.
I constantly have to read sports things on the show, and it just shows how much I don't know about sports. Oh, but turning to a subject I do know about, 1966, the musical Cabaret opens at the Broadhurst Theater in New York City for 1,166 performances. Wow, that's a lot. In 1969, Brazilian soccer icon Pelé scores his 1,000th goal. Wow, 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 wow. In 1982, Drew Barrymore, at age 7, hosts Saturday Night Live. Do you remember that? As 7-year-old hosting Saturday Night Live.
That's weird.
I agree. In 1983, Terms of Endearment, from the book by Larry McMurtry, directed by James L. Brooks and starring Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger, premieres in New York, and it would become the Best Picture winner of 1984. So, in famous birthdays today, let me know if you're familiar with any of these folks. 1941, Dr. John, an American musician known for Right Place, Wrong Time, and many other things, born in New Orleans, Louisiana, and he just passed away last year. Dr. John, very famous New Orleans musician. And another name that a few of us may be familiar with, in 1942, Joe Biden was born. American politician, vice president with Obama, was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and looks like he's going to be the next president of the United States. So today is Joe Biden's birthday.
Well, good. Congratulations, Mr. President-elect.
Yes. Happy birthday, Joe. And speaking of birthdays, we got some birthdays coming up. In staff birthdays, today we've got Edelmira and Elizabeth from nursing, and Celsus from home health. On Sunday, we've got Stephanie from human resources. And in resident birthdays, only one this weekend, we've got Edward on Saturday. So a big happy birthday from us here at Good Morning Hebrew Home, and from David, too.
Yeah, happy birthday, everybody. Enjoy.
Thanks. All right. Now here's the part where I've got to really work my brain. I've got to read the meals for all of the weekends. All right, wish me luck, David.
I do.
See if I can say everything. So on Friday, today, for lunch we have vegetable pizza with Israeli salad with oatmeal cookies. For dinner we have vegetable noodle soup. The entree is an apricot glazed chicken with seasoned potato wedges with marble pound cake for dessert. Saturday, this is something I want to make soon. Beef stew with rice pilaf, peaches for dessert, peach mango applesauce, actually. For dinner, the soup is vegetable and quinoa. The entree is Waldorf tuna salad platter with homemade potato salad. And the dessert is apple pie. Ooh, also something I want to make soon. And Sunday, for lunch, we have meatballs, marinara sauce, spaghetti, and broccoli florets with a brownie for dessert. And for dinner, black bean soup, garden vegetable quiche, sliced carrots with a fig cookie for dessert. And as a reminder, give us a call, 2813. I haven't heard from you guys in a while. Call us up. Tell us something. What's good? What's going on? Give us a story. So, here's the part I've been most excited for. So, as we know, David Hoagland is joining us today. So, David, it's time for us to have a little chat.
All right.
So, I know David from many groups here at the Hebrew home for being a smiling face in the hallways. But, David, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I used to work for a company called Xerox.
I'm familiar, yes.
And in 2010, I was let go. So since then, I have not worked. I've had what's called PEC, pre-existing conditions. I have pulmonary edema. I have emphysema. But I'm feeling great.
That's great. So, yeah, you came to us because you had some medical stuff that you needed some help with. But, you know, one of the things that I think of every time I see you, you've always got a great attitude. You're always greeting people. You're always involved in something.
Well, that's the way I like to be.
Yeah. And I see that in you, David. Yeah. So what are some of the sorts of things you've liked to do before you came here, and what's some of the stuff you like to do these days?
Well, what I like to do these days is play bingo.
Ah, yes. A classic, a favorite.
I like to hang out with my buddies, meaning Arnie and the whole gang, and I like to shout out to Arnie and the whole gang.
Hey, everybody, I hope you're watching upstairs. We reminded you should be watching.
And I like to go sit outside in the nice weather and just enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah.
And the friendliness of my fellow residents.
That's one of the things I really admire about you, David, I have to say, is that you are so wonderful at welcoming people, at being so friendly to the other residents. You know, not everybody has an easy time when they move into our place, but I think you're always there saying, hey, how are you doing? Like, let's talk, let's chat.
Yeah.
And I think that really makes a difference in people's days, you know?
Well, that's the way I feel. I mean, a few people did that with me when I came here, so
yeah.
I think it's important.
It's wonderful. You're paying it forward, you know?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I think that's a wonderful thing to think about, is that when you're nice to someone, it's not just that person you're helping, you're also, you know, they can pay it forward and bring it to other people.
Exactly.
So one of the things I noticed that I didn't know about you, when I came to get you this morning, you have a lot of history books in your room.
Yeah, I love history.
Ah.
I love military history and I love general history.
Wow. What are your favorite, do you have a favorite era? Do you have a favorite area of history?
Yeah, I like military uniforms and formations, and I like reading, you know, truthful stuff. Like, I have a book upstairs called In Her Own Words by Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, that's great.
Which I think is a classic.
I haven't read it yet, so that's a recommendation. I got to add it to my to-read list.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Because it's a great book. It not only teaches you about her, it teaches you about what she believes.
That's wonderful.
And I think she's an icon as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. You know, and of course she just passed recently, and there's been such an outpouring of love for her. And, you know, regardless of where you stand on the political spectrum, she certainly is an historic figure and has made, you know, such gains for women and has made historic judgments as a judge. So
exactly.
You know, I think very interesting.
Yes.
What drew you to history? Like, what makes you keep coming back to reading about history and learning about history?
Well, I was always interested in history as a kid. So when I was in junior high school, I really got into it. And I've been to a lot of historical places like Gettysburg, Washington, D.C., Philly.
I was going to ask, what are some of your favorite historical sites? Because I have to say, David, I'm not as big a history buff as you. I think you probably know a little bit more than me. But I love going to like historical sites and museums and learning more about stuff. So what are some of your favorite historical sites or museums?
For God's sake, what the hell is it called? Williamsburg.
Ah, yeah.
Williamsburg, Virginia.
You had mentioned Gettysburg before. I've never been there. I have to go there.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes, of course. You know, something I did when I went to Washington, D.C. So when I was a little girl, I was a Girl Scout, and I went on this trip to Washington, D.C., and the coolest thing I did there, you would think would be the most boring for a group of elementary school girls, but it was just a woman at the Booth Theater talking about the assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, you mean at Ford's Theater?
Ford's Theater, thank you so much. I'm confusing John Wilkes Booth. Ford's Theater, thank you. And she just talked to us for an hour and told us about everything that happened, and you'd think that would be boring for kids, but she was so captivating. It really goes to show the good stories in history, and when someone tells them interestingly, it can really get you.
And I've been to Sturbridge Village in Massachusetts.
Oh, Sturbridge Village. What's that? I don't know about that.
It's like, I haven't been there in so long, but it's like a farm.
Oh.
It's fascinating.
That's so cool. So it's like a farm, but it's run like in the past or something like that?
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to have to look that up after the show and see what that's like. So yeah, in addition to history, what are some of the other things that interest you? History, you're a very social guy.
I collect playing cards from all over the world.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
See, I'm learning so many new things today. Playing cards from all around the world. So what drew you to that, and what kind of, from where do you have playing cards?
Every European country,
Wow.
except Portugal.
Okay.
Actually, no, I have them. I have cards from Asia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and of course the U.S.
And what got you started with that collection?
Well, when I was a kid, I got a book called Playing Cards and Their Story by Tony Beale, and I decided that through life I was going to buy every deck that he described.
Wow. What a goal to set for yourself, and then to stick with for so long,
But I've toned down my collection a lot because I can't take it here,
I mean, I suppose once you've been collecting for a few decades, you've probably got quite a lot. So
Yeah.
it might be a little heavy to take with you wherever you go.
Yeah. But I'm very comfortable in my room, I must say. I'm happy with my room.
That's great. I'm gonna tell a little secret about you, actually. One of the other things that I know about David is that you're a musical guy. Before, COVID and the quarantine and everything, I started making you come to Glee Club.
Yeah, you did, and I'm glad you did.
I loved having you there. You're such a musical person, and your thoughtfulness and empathy really comes through in music. So what kinds of music do you really enjoy?
I enjoy some classical music.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy country music. I enjoy old rock. This newfangled stuff doesn't get me at all.
No?
No.
It's not for you?
Not for me. Nope. I like the Strauss waltzes. I like Beethoven. I like I like a lot of artists.
Yeah. I think one of the things also that I love about you, David, and this is just me telling you how great you are all day long, but you deserve it, is how open-minded you are, too. I know you said you don't care for the newfangled music, but in general, I think that you're pretty open-minded to new things and to figuring out, like, you know, maybe this isn't music I've heard before, but I'll give it a shot, you know? Or this isn't a person I know, but I'm going to give them a shot. And I think that's a trait that, you know, would you say that's something you pride yourself on?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because when I joined the welcoming committee of the resident council, I was able to welcome a couple of people into the Hebrew home.
That's great. What did that look like? I know, of course, so many things are different now, but what did that look like, being part of the welcoming committee?
I went up to their room and I talked to them. I said, "You're welcome. Welcome to the Hebrew home. My name is David. If you need anything, here's my extension. Or you can call the resident council at 1526 and ask any questions you might have."
That's great. Well, David, it has been so wonderful to have you on the show. I think we're going to start to wrap up in a second, but one of the things I ask our guests when they're on the show is, you know, we've all been going through a really rough year this year. 2020 has been unprecedented in so many ways. But what's some words of advice you'd like to share with your peers, with anyone watching at home on YouTube?
Okay, there are lots of scams out there that you need to be aware of. People are calling everybody claiming to be the IRS or Social Security. You will only receive letters from them, if anything. Frankly, it's a scam, and you have to be careful. You do not give any personal information. None. Plus, I would like to remind everybody that to please wear your mask when you go around the campus. Wash your hands and be safe.
That's wonderful. Thank you, David. Two great messages about how we can keep ourselves and others safe during this time. And safety is so important all the time, but especially this year. So thank you so much, David.
You're welcome.
It's been so wonderful having you on the show. I hope we can have you on again sometime soon.
I would love it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to finish up with a few programming notes. So tune in later today for Catholic services at 11:15 and Shabbat Shalom at 3 p.m. Today's Broadway matinee at 2 p.m. on Channel 88 is the ballet Swan Lake. So I think that's very exciting. So take a look, 2 p.m. Channel 88. If you missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on Channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. Well, that's it for this week. We will see you on Monday, same time, same place, same channel.